It's the midpoint of Cannes 2015, so it's time to take a look back at the festival so far and discuss our best, worst and most surprising films. I'm joined by James Partridge of admit1.co.nz and Peter Turner of tasticfilm.com. Alright, we'll start with James. James, what was your best film?
Best film so far, Son of Soul. Loved it. It's a World War II concentration camp drama. Doesn't sound that, sort of exhilarating, but it was a fascinating film, shot from a very unique perspective. Very dark, probably not for everyone, but it blew me away.
I really like Son of Soul. I liked how, Holocaust films we've seen a lot of, and they're all very samey. They cover very similar points. This one was breaking new ground. This was looking at things we haven't really seen before and doing it from a very, as you say, new angle.
I'm afraid I'm in complete agreement. I thought it was horrific, and the sound of it, the sound of the incinerators and the people screaming, it gets to you and it actually left me feeling pretty sick in my stomach. It's an unforgettable film.
My favourite film in competition has been the cliched one. It's Carol. I'm a big Patricia Highsmith fan, so I was already going in, with goodwill towards it. But it's obviously got two incredible performances from Rooney Mara and Cate Blanchett. But it just feels so good. There's a real restrained nature to them both, but it feels very genuine, their romance. Todd Haynes did an incredible job making New York feel real, feel of the time, but also very unique. But out of competition, my favourite film has to be Inside Out. I mean,
the two big blockbusters of Cannes have actually turned out to be magnificent hits. Mad Max and Inside Out. It's like you couldn't have asked for two better blockbuster films to see, I guess. It's just unusual for Cannes.
Absolutely. You come here and you think you're going to be talking about nothing but world cinema, but actually Mad Max is mind-blowing, and Inside Out, it's incredible. There was something in my eye, I think, at the end of the film.
Throughout most of the film, there was something in my eye.
Yes, this idea of your memories being tainted by sadness all the time. It's amazing.
It shows that Cannes isn't just, a pretentious festival. I mean, this morning we've just seen Sicario, which is from the Prisoners director, and that's going to be a very mainstream hit. It's got a lot of artistry to it, but at the same time, it has sort of a wide appeal, and it tells a story that is quite accessible. So people will be seeing some of the films that we're talking about here.
Mia Madre, which I'd heard good things about. Quite a few people actually liked it. I didn't at all really. It's about a woman dealing with her dying, feelings towards her dying mother, and her life she's a director, and it kind of is a little self-indulgent perhaps, but just there were a whole lot of parts of that film that didn't go anywhere. So John Turturro, we were talking before, his character comes in and he's this sort of idiot actor who can't remember Italian because he's been in America so long, and he just serves no purpose in the story. He doesn't drive her story. He doesn't drive the mother's story. It just served no purpose.
Did he not make you laugh?
He did.
Okay. Every joke he did was funny. Every single joke hit.
Yeah. But it served no purpose to the story. It was like you could have cut that out and it made no difference. But I mean, that was me.
You could cut out the rest of it for me.
Yeah,
true.
The worst part of My Mother was the mother storyline. It just didn't. It wasn't bad. It just was like you could have switched out for any other emotional turmoil, and you'd have had a film with a very similar sort of direction.
Well, they didn't have too much connection between the two of them. They were barely in it. She was in the hospital bed, and then they did flashbacks, and then her there. But there was not enough time, so it was more her directing this film and trying to get John Turturro through it, which actually had no relevance to the mother bit.
My worst was The Fourth Direction, which I don't think many people saw.
I didn't catch
but that. It's incredibly slow. I think it was 2 hours, but it felt like about 4 hours. I've never seen so many people walking out as I have in that film, and I was looking at them enviously more than I was looking at the screen. It's a sort of Indian film. It's about the effect of war on these ordinary kind of people living in rural areas and stuff, but no good. But the other one for me was Taylor Tales in competition.
Really?
Yeah, didn't much go for its kind of fancy 3-story thing.
Oh, the whole 3-act structure, it's 3 separate fairy tale style stories told in 3 acts, and the way it's structured sort of really highlights that, and it all works as, each story works internally, but then it works kind of as part of a bigger picture. I like that deconstruction.
And that was the kind of that got me. It was the ending. It's how they tied them all together. That's the payoff. I was enjoying it right up to that point, and I was like, you're ending it here? What?
There isn't any real payoff, no, but
No.
doesn't.
There's your answer.
My least favourite film was Marguerite and Julienne. It was, I just, at the end of the screening, there was no applause, there was no booing, everyone was just so deflated. It tries to have style. It's about this brother and sister couple. I think it's originally from the 1600s, but it's sort of set in this weird like 1800s, 1900s, 20th century setting, and there's incest, and they're on the run, and all this stuff goes on, and there's like bits where you're like, oh, it's trying to be a bit like Baz Luhrmann because it has like, you know, modern music turn up and all these different styles, but it just doesn't work. There's no point to it, and it doesn't even commit to its points. You have this odd framing device set in an orphanage, and then that's just gone halfway through. It's a bizarre. The director seemed to give up on it, just like I did.
I suppose the bad surprise, yeah, Sea of Trees was disappointing. I don't think it's as horrendous as everybody is saying it is. I guess that's an expectation thing. You go in thinking it's just very ordinary, and you've kind of seen it all before. Even the twist in it, you can pick it a mile off.
The ending is the thing that ruins it.
Yeah, it
everything
is.
else is all right.
It's kind of got a signs ending where the 3 or 4 things kind of point to. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from that. but my best surprise was Umimachi Diary. I thought it was a Japanese tale of 3 sisters whose father left them when they were younger and has remarried and had another child, so they connect with their a new sister. It's a beautiful tale of these sisters bonding and figuring out their lives, and how the relationship breakup with their parents kind of changed them and affected them, and it kind of brings them all together, and they kind of deal with their own feelings about that because the father passes away, and that's how they discover the sister. Not the sort of film I'd normally enjoy. It's not my type of film, but I absolutely loved it. I really connected with the actors and the story, and just came away from it feeling quite good, which was a big surprise for me.
I shouldn't have been surprised, but I absolutely loved Amy, documentary about Amy Winehouse. It's directed by the guy that did Senna, so I shouldn't be surprised it's a great thing, but because I'm not a big Amy Winehouse fan, I was blown away. I was blown away by the music, I was blown away by the lyrics of her songs, I was blown away by all the footage they've got of her, incredible footage, so well chosen. The stuff with her dad, who I know has come out and, sort of not happy with the film and stuff, it just, I was left emotionally shattered by it, to be honest. My
biggest surprise was Monroy, which is the French romantic drama. This woman Tony, she's in a rehabilitation clinic, and that leads her to a bunch of flashbacks that show her long relationship with her husband, who she's now separated from. You're seeing the film from her perspective, and so when he's really nice, you're seeing the good side of him. When he's really bad, you're seeing the same person just from a worse side, and that was something I didn't quite expect from the film, particularly given the whole knee framing of it all. It was ready to be much more like redemptive, and it had that element, but it was much more about how we perceive people, and how people don't necessarily change over time, just how we view them do.
He hasn't had the best reviews, but
not
really
at
loved
all.
it.
There's been
I'd give her Best Actress. I enjoyed her performance that much. I give it, because it takes a lot of courage to play quite essentially what's a weak character who tries and constantly stumbles to get herself back on track and draw from inner strength. I really loved the performance, really liked the film.
What's going to win the Palme d'Or on Sunday night?
I guess the front runner at the moment is Carol. I wouldn't say it was my favourite film. It was good, but it was okay. I'd have Son of Soul, but that might be a little too dark for them. But yeah, Carol's the front runner at the moment, and I can see why. It is a good film. But it depends, as you said earlier on, whether they play it for a more mainstream film or they go really art house on it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but I'll go Carol.
I would love to see Son of Saul get it. If it doesn't get it, then I want to get Lazo Neems, I think his name is, to get Best Director, at least, for Son of Saul.
If they're going to go for a film that's all about the artistry and all about what it's doing in terms of cinema, then Son of Saul is the dead cert. It's the most adventurous film we've seen, probably the most adventurous film we're going to get, and that we've got something that looks at the Holocaust in a totally new way is pretty incredible, and that actually hits you in quite a strong way. But I mean, Carol is my favourite, and it has a lot of things, and even if it doesn't win, it's going to be the one that has the most long-running sort of recognition. It'll be a hit and stuff. I just think Carol's great in the way it captures Highsmith's normally quite complex characters who have a lot going on underneath the surface in a good way. We've never really seen her characters brought to the screen with such faithfulness before, and that's great. If there's going to be an Oscar winner from Cannes, and we're not talking like animated feature, which is obviously going to be Inside Out. It'll be Carol. Okay, so that's what we think of the festival so far. Make sure you check What Culture for reviews of all the films so far. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And make sure you check out James on Admit One and Peter on Tastic Film.